Okay, there we go. I need to put the sound down a bit. I don't know why it didn't work in the beginning, but I hope the audio is right. Yeah, okay, so it works again. That's nice. A bit of problems in the beginning. But yeah, hopefully this won't tell us how the season will go, because then it will be difficult for the start. But we are back in season 8, and this is a bit unusual as it is the Tuesday, but we're for the championship tonight. It's also, I think, one of the first times I did commentating on the Tuesday. Luckily I don't have anything this evening, which is good, so I can jump in there. But we have some new commentators as well, which will be joining you, well, you might see them in the coming weeks. So we will have plenty of commentators now with the new setup, as we have only 2 days of racing with the championship and the Premier, hoping to get fuller grids. As we can see tonight, we have 15. A lot of new drivers. Then Snelle Henk in the Red Bull, and together with Matty actually left his teammate there. As Smith is still in the Mercedes. Matty joined the Red Bull, and then the champion from First Division, Pop Span, in the Aston Martin. Smith still in the Mercedes. As I said, Leakey joined the Mercedes, coming over from Alpine. Kieran, of course, still in the McLaren, winning that final race in the championship in Vegas. And let's see how this season will go. This is only pre-season, but hopefully this will give a nice indication to see where everyone is. And we got Gui in the Haas, then Beertje in the AlphaTauri, and it is a shame because he was one of my teammates last season, but of course now I switched to a different team as well, and you will see that tomorrow. But yeah, it has something to do with the blue car as well. Then we got Ivor in the Ferrari. He is still in the red team and settling into the spot of the team, and I can tell you from experience that it is a nice car. 4Killer then in the McLaren, teammate of Kieran. Then we got Inorganic. This time he's racing, and this is still in the Alfa Romeo. And that is nice to see, because now I can commentate on him, which is nice, and I'm sure he will enjoy that, watching this back. Can make some beautiful comments about that. Yeah, well, Alfa Romeo. I don't know how to pronounce his name. He's part of my team actually, because I drive the Alpine now for this season. I think I would just call him Chaos. He will cause chaos. Then Rodo, of course, competitor in the final races. I've got some. I think he got a win in Brazil. Still in that Alpine, teammate of myself. Then Jeweler, this time in championship division in the Aston Martin. And Rusty, of course, still in that Alfa Romeo, very loyal to the team. As the first times are starting to come in now for the championship. This is only pre-season, but still good indication to see where it goes. I'm just glad we don't have to do this during a race season, because I don't really like Bahrain, but it is a good practice track. Hixie in the chat, welcome, and yeah, I'm really excited to see how this will work out. Hopefully we get a closer fight, because now you basically got the top of first and the top of championship together, so it's super close. Yeah, and a tight battle, and I think I looked at the teams in Premier Division. Oh, as Ivor has almost lost it. Yeah, it will be very competitive, and hopefully I can up my game and be in there, but we will see. Now then, Bob Spun, the champion, still in first place after the first round. Kieran, not that far behind. He's starting to get his get his pace up again. After that win, he got a massive jump in pace all of a sudden in Vegas, and I know a reason for it, but I won't tell you. Kieran can say that in the interviews if he gets on the podium. Oh, and Big Strag has joined us as well, so we will have 16 drivers then. Of course, no points, so technically we don't need to look at that, just to see where everyone finishes. But yeah, this is basically a practice session to see where everyone stands. Ooh. But just behind him then, Brodo, not that far off pole position. Rusty is in P4, and he did well there. A 30.5, not that far out the top there. Ivor is in, he's in P4. Ivor is in P5. 4Killer is in P6. In the McLaren, a bit of a gap to his teammate, but not a big problem. Smith then on the mediums, which is interesting. A 31.3, 1 second off, 1.1 of pole position, but he's on those all the tires. Gui then in P8, and Matty did the same. Different team, but still you doing the same as his old teammate. as he is in P9 currently and everyone else is setting a lap. Let's see, there is some, I think, Alpine, and he's jumped up to P8 there. It's chaos. Let's see. Who is the next one? It's Kieran, but I think he's going in. Yeah. And then we got the other McLaren, his teammate. Killer, but he's moving out of the way for the Mercedes. Now I don't know if Smith is on the lap. I don't think so. But he's using everything though. Pushing quite a bit, but his ERS is he doesn't have any ERS left. And he's 4 tenths up though. Will he lose it on this part where you need to use the DRS? Of course, you also lost some drivers. Some have gone up. The champion from last season, of course, is going. Stoppy left the session. I don't know if that's. Oh, Beertje has left the session. I don't know if that's because he disconnected or he crashed. Well, Julie staying out leaky to P2, just ahead of Kieran. Now look at those gaps at the front then. Very close gap, but Leaky, he's done well in the Alpine, but a bit unlucky in the past few races. We already can see the bit of mixed grids then. But let's see, Snelle Henk is always quick. And let's see what he can do. But there's first an AlphaTauri of Big Shrek, his teammate of Beertje, who has now rejoined again, which is fine during quali. But Big Shrek will start his lap then. Is that someone else is on a lap? I don't think so. There's one of the Haas drivers, but he's on an out lap. So apart from that, it might be Snelle. If not, then we will follow Big Shrek then. But I think Snelle is on the lap, as he is. Oh, he hasn't set a lap time, so I don't know how quick a 108 is, but it feels quick as I see him. In the Red Bull, currently behind his teammate, but his teammate has set a lap on the mediums. It says soft now, but he clearly did on the mediums. Now on to the line, and he jumps up to P6, a 30.7, not too bad. His teammate right behind him, but he's starting the lap. Then the first one I saw is Shrek was on the lap. But joined us a bit late. Oh, why is it put a random song on? I don't know why. My Siri is listening to me again. But yeah. Big Shrek in the 109, so he's slower than Snelle Henk. And then to the line, and he goes 11 faster, 31.6. Then Gui behind in the Haas. On the curbs there. And he's going to the line, and he moves into the top 10. On P9, then we got one of the Alfa Romeos. I think it might be inorganic, and one of the Alpines starting their laps. Hopefully, yeah. Or one is going in. Oh, this is a lot of going on now. A lot of drivers out laps, and everyone's starting their lap. Inorganic starting his lap. Then someone moved up to P2. It's Rusty. Moves up to P2, only just behind. Then one of the Red Bulls, that might be Matty, as Matty moves up to P6, just ahead of his teammate. One of the Alfa Romeos, it's Jeweler, I think he's starting his lap. But then the updated Alfa Romeo as well on the back with the colors, the red and blue, a special livery I think it was. As Bob spun, can he create a bigger gap at the front? As the sports update came in this week as well, so for the Premier drivers watching, please update your game. 29.7, the first one into the 29, and it's a big gap already to the rest of the field. Then Big Shrek coming out of the final corner. Can he improve from that P13? He doesn't improve, it's not enough. But then it's one of the Mercedes guys. Smith on an out lap. GUI is slowing down, so he's not going for it. Then inorganic. I can't see it because there's this on-air thing. But yeah. Don't know what his split sector time was there. Into the final corner. Hasn't set a lap time yet. To the line. It's 31.9. Then the McLaren's. Kieran is the first one. He jumps up to P2. 4Killer jumps up to P6. Then the other Alfa Romeo, but he's going in. It's a Mercedes. Leaky starting his lap. Then it's the Red Bull is going in. And I think it's Jeweler. 109.4 is not that quick in the after 2 sectors. Let's see if he can move up from P16. He goes up to P14. Just a tiny bit quicker than inorganic. But yeah, Bob spun as half a second on Kieran as Leaky crashed out. And we can see that where that is coming out of the traction, but he won't improve then. Still 5 minutes to go. The track will get better, of course. And we got Beertje then. He is quick, 108.6, and he might get into the top 5, and he moves up to P10. It's quite close, 30.8. Then it's Shrek, but he's going in, and one of the Mercedes guys, I think Smith is pushing. And very big lap from Bob Span indeed. Oh, a bit of a bad final corner there, and he might go in. No, he's staying out. But he jumps up to P7 of 30.6, very close battles now. Here comes Rodo. There's one. I think Rodo is on the lap. Oh no, it's not. No, so everyone will go in then, both McLarens as well. So let's have a look. I heard some fireworks. Wow, Kieran almost crashing into the back of his teammate there. I don't know if Jeweler is on the lap. He might be on the lap. I'll quickly follow him then. Taking up. Yeah, he's taking a shorter line there. So Bob Swan, 29.7, big gap. For the champion. Kieran in P2 on the front row. Currently Rodo in P3. We got Rusty in P4, and he did very well. Now I think there's a big improvement compared to last season. Leaky in P5. Currently 5 different teams in the top 5. But then McLaren, 4Killer. Will they be the team to beat in the constructors? But Smith not that far off. The other Mercedes looking good. Both Red Bulls then P8 and P9. Currently the only Ferrari in P10. Then Beertje in P11, but he isn't that far off as his position make it seem like. GUI in the Haas, the only one we're racing today, and then Chaos down, but he's up by a second. But he's currently down in P13. If he's up by a second, he could jump into the top 5, and he could make Alpine look like a good team, which we want to see, of course. Alpine winning another constructor. He moves up to P5. There he goes. And that just shows you that everywhere Colin and I go, the teams will improve. Not because of me, mainly because of Colin, maybe. But yeah, both Alpines into the top 5. GUI is not. He has improved, but not a position. But yeah, then currently the man in the chat, inorganic. Hello. Not helping out his Alfa Romeo teammate. As his Alfa Romeo teammate is up to P4. He's down in P16. Same for Jeweler. It's a bit like Stroll and Alonso currently, which is not an insult to Jeweler. It's just a gap. Yeah. So let's see. Both Alpines, both McLarens, both Mercedes, both Red Bulls in the top 10. And yeah. And this will be if Alpine, myself, Colin, and then Chaos and Rodo can win the constructors, the all-gear constructors again. Yeah, we're looking good. 3 constructors, all-gear constructors in a row with 3 different teams. But I don't want to celebrate too early. And the fact that this is pre-season, so no points awarded today. 2 minutes left in this session. Big Shrek starting his lap. Some have started their laps, but I need to see who is the first one. Oh, and Chaos is going in. He's over then. He's not going out. Matty going out. Gui, improvement. Gui jumps at the P7 at 30.4, very close battle now. Let's see, is that Schuler? They're both on an outlap. Next one up, Rodo is also on an outlap, and then it's one of the Red Bulls of Snellenk. Snellenk, 1 point. Oh, he makes a mistake there going into that corner. A tricky corner, let's see if he's still up, on his time. No, he's down on his time. Then behind him, Kieran, but he's on an outlap. It's Ivor then. Oh, and Ivor made a bit of a mistake, I think. He's 11 seconds down. Then next one. Has Rusty. Rusty also 1.3 down, but he's still waiting. Oh, he's waiting for his lap. Let's see. Big Shrek, he might be on a lap. No, he's not on a lap. He's not using the ERS. Who is on the lap then? Is it inorganic? If you look at the ERS, I don't think he is. He's just going slowly a bit. Let's see, is it Fall Killer then? Fall Killer is using some of his ERS, but I think he made a mistake and he's trying to slow down. He has half a minute left. Smith then on an outlap. Matty is on an outlap. Then it is the Haas of Gui. But I think Gui is going in. He doesn't have any fuel left. No, he's not improving. Then the first one, I think, going for it now is Jeweler. But he's down and he's not gonna make it. He's down 9 seconds and he saved up his ERS, but he's not gonna make it. Bob Span then. Can he do something? He's on the lap. I don't know. Oh yes, he joined the chat. How do I call you? I will call you KS now. 3,000's up. It's Jeweler. Doesn't make it. He stays down in P15. Next one up. Rodo down on his time by 2 tenths. He could move himself up to the front row. Into the out of the final corner. Rodo jumps up to the front row. It's not enough for pole position. Kieran behind though is also improving. Can Kieran now snatch the front row again? To the line? No, it isn't enough. Only just not enough. Rusty then. Can Rusty take it away in a good final sector? He was down on his time in the middle sector. No, Rusty stays P4. Then the Beertje moves up to P4 now, putting himself in between, and Shark moves up to P11 then. Inorganic. 5,000's up on his time. He needs more than a second to gain at least 2 positions. Red Bulls drop down to P13 and 14. Inorganic moves up 3 tenths, moves up a position, goes off the final place. Smith now going for a lap. And can Smith get into the top 10? Yes, it's P6. But then Matty, here comes Matty. And I don't know where Matty jumped to. We will see now. Matty's up the 3rd. So ahead of Kieran. Look at the gaps then. Bob Span on pole position. But look at these gaps. Very close between Rodo and Matty there, as there is 7 different teams in the top 7, but then at 30.1, 30.2, 0.3, 0.3, 0.4, 0.4, 0.4, 0.5, 5, 5, 7, very close down to the top 10. As you can see, Beertje, Rusty, Smith, Rusty very good qualifying P6, Smith 7, Chaos in P8, Leaky P9 after that crash, Gui 10, Ivor 11, Fall Killer dropped down to P12, but it looks worse than it seems. Then it is, because he's not that far down. Big Shark in P13, Snellenk in P14, Inorganic in P15, and Jeweler down in P16 on the final position on the grid. But a very close qualifying, and hopefully this is only pre-season. But if this will indicate what the real season will be like, we're in for a good one. Inorganic is back. Yeah, well, I said it before. Alfa Romeo just didn't get any updates, so should have left them. You know, you saw the investment on by, for example, Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce and Trent Alexander-Arnold, Juan Mata as well. They invest in a good team. They saw me and Colin driving there, and they thought, well, we need to invest in them because they are a good team, better than the Alfa Romeo. But that's just my personal opinion. But I think most of the people can understand. Formation lap then, it is on. Put on the tires there. 29 laps around it. Tire wear is quite high normally from what I know. Bob Spon, Matty, Leaky and Tuller, so both Aston Martins on the hards. Then we got 2 guys on the soft. Smith is on the soft. So different strategies at Mercedes there, softs and hards. And Snelle Henk is on the softs. Everyone else is on the mediums around them. But let's see. Could Kieran and Rodo get a better start, but then the guys ahead of them and on the hards, but also Smith who's in the Mercedes on the softs. Just waiting for everyone to come around. Let's see. We're lining up for the final kit. Okay, there we go. Smith disqualified. Oh, that's not nice. For, of course, on the grid. Just reading something quickly. That's why I might have been a bit silent. Different weird approach from Bueller there in the back. Bit sideways. We got a good angle. There's a bit of mist or some sort of grey smoke, but I can still see the lights. 2, 3, 4, 5 lights for a season 8, a new beginning, and we are underway in the pre-season. Not the best of starts for Bob Spun, but I think Birch has a good start. Rodo's up the inside, and let's see. Oh, 4 into 1. Bit of a contact between the McLaren. Oh, and then Alfa Romeo has contact with the AlphaTauri, I think. Let's see. Everyone else behind. Matty, Kieran, Rusty's still going for it after that contact, and Rodo is ahead into P3. There is an Alpine going, and that is the chaos. Oh, the McLaren colliding with, oh, and then colliding with the AlphaTauri there. Oh, a lot going on in the opening laps. They're still finding each other then here. Smith now back up to P8 after dropping down, but all the chaos happening behind here. McLaren up the inside of the, almost running into the back of each other there. Leaky there. Leaky not having the best of start, but chaos dropping down to the final place there. Let's switch back up front for a bit, as Rodo's got away and he's into the lead ahead of Bob Spun. Bob Spun is on the hards though. And Kieran in P3 jumped the position on Matty. Matty's dropped down quite a bit on those hard tires. Birch in P5, Rust in P6, Rust in P4, Gui in P6. Birch is now trying to overtake. There's something happening behind with Fall Killer and Big Shark. As Big Shark is going in, and also see a battle in the front. Up the inside. No, he's not going up the inside. Let's see behind this. Ivor's going up the inside of Fall Killer. And Chaos is now up the inside of Jeweler for P13. Try to make as many positions as he can. He can get back after that little moment. Up the inside. Beautiful move there. Gets the space and he's up to P13 now. Let's see if he can challenge ahead as Birch is still behind Rusty there. Yeah, no lap 1 DNFs, that's good. Well, a bit of contact and bumper cars at some point, but it's still alright. As we see some position changes between Ivor, Fall Killer and Snelle Henk. Ivor going a bit wide. Snelle Henk with the exit, but also need to look at it. Smith on his old teammate. Matty ahead. Will they give each other the room? Yeah, they will do. Let's see behind. Snelle Henk now overtaking Ivor. Ivor getting a better exit. He's on those curves and don't want to do that. I think that's a track limit. And let's see. Oh, it almost looks like his throttle is stuck there. Just keeping the power down. And it gives Leaky a bit of a chance. Leaky lifting. No DRS. Oh, I think there might be DRS now. Oh, they said this lap. Smith, fastest lap of the race so far. And Organic moves up to P14. DRS is enabled now. And let's see, Leaky staying behind, waiting for that DRS line. No, he's not going to overtake. Let's quickly switch back to the front then. DRS now is now activated. But we get a little DRS train probably here. But let's see, can Leaky try and overtake? No, he's a bit too far behind. Kills is closing in, or is it Droid or Druid? I don't know. Inorganic into P14, Jeweler down to P15, Shrek of course down in P16 after the contact. Oh, someone is round, it's Ivor and he's into the wall. And I will discuss the first safety car, 5-second penalty for Killer, exceeding track limits. Well, he's gone very wide there. Losing a lot of positions, or one, but almost two. But also some battles going on here. Smith is right behind Gui and Birch is right behind Rusty. Basically a battle for P6 and P4, but this could become a big battle for P4 now. Switching to Birch. There we go, 4 different teams right behind each other. Now they all have DRS and Rusty will be sitting duck on the main straight. Who has the better exit? Oh, Smith has a way better exit than Gui. And this might compromise in trying to get ahead of the other two. As Birch moves ahead of Rusty. And Smith braking late around the outside. Oh, does this open the door for Gui as he has a better exit now around the outside. He is on those mediums. But it should be alright then. Smith is up to P6, Birch is up to P4, so they've moved up a place, but then behind, Matty on the hards, closing in. The fighting is causing them to lose a lot of time, and a good opportunity for Matty to close in. As I said, that he goes a bit wide. But Birch immediately closed behind Kieran. Birch promoted to the championship. Well, there's no first division anymore, but he's fighting the championship cars now. And Smith having a better exit. There we go. Up the inside, I think. Will Rusty leave him the room? Oh, he might have made some contact there or had to back out. As Gui had a good opportunity to get past. But so does Birch now behind Kieran. Sorry for the guys in the midfield, I can't really show this because I need to focus on the fight on the podium, as Birch is already doing it before the DRS detection point, which is a crucial point as he has a bad exit as well. which means that Kieran now can take the place back. A lot of fighting behind. Look at this. We got basically almost 6 cars if you count in the 2 in front. But Gui then from the slipstream from P7, Rusty's dropping down, and Smith up to P5, Gui up to P6, Rusty dropping down to P7 under pressure from Matty behind. Matty's struggling a bit on the traction, but here comes Rusty again behind Gui. Gui defending. And now Romeo has up the, almost going up the inside there. That means you have a bad exit there. Oh, Gui is round. He spun, kept it out of the wall though. But that is a bit unfortunate for him, as Big Stretch is the fastest lap of the race. And yeah, good point from Hixie. Rodo or Bobspan is indeed closing in on Rodo. Struggling for Matty there on the grip. But as Kieran is ahead of Beertje again, 3 seconds behind Bobspan. Can't really keep up with them. But let's see, behind Leaky is now trying to close in on Snelling. He can't really close in just yet, as Beertje is closing in on Kieran. Kieran now under pressure. He has 90% of ERS though. If they're smart, they're not going to use it, but they're losing a big amount of time to the cars ahead. Kieran not the best of exits there. Now with DRS, someone is round. I think. Oh, it's. Whoa! That is a big collision across the track. Hitting. Whoa! That is very dangerous from Rusty. Almost putting Chaos into the wall. Someone else make contact. Matty is in as well, but he's changing. So Matty must have made some contact as well. I think that he has collided with Rusty then, and Rusty also hitting the other Red Bull as someone else saw go round. It's Gui again. But Snelle Henk, does he have any damage? He might have to the side block. I'm not sure. As Beertje got past Kieran in the meantime. Now both Mercedes up to P5 and P6. Case up to P9, but I would like to see his on board from. Oh, he goes wide. He's losing it. Oh, that Alfa Romeo Inorganic almost hitting the back of Chaos there, as Inorganic is now up to P9. Big improvements. Ivor has also gone in, I think. Oh, Big Strike going wide. I really have commentator's curse here. And we got got James in the chat. Oh, as Ivor is off, or he's lost it. Don't know what he's doing. He's giving them back or some sort. Or I don't know what he's doing. Oh, Ivor 10-second time penalty, track limit. That's not what he wanted to do. I think he tried to slow down so he wouldn't get any. But now he's got 10. It might have been removed though, because 10 is a bit too much. But yeah, good evening to you, James. As everything is going well so far. Or with me. I hope you're doing well as well. And of course the legendary sprint scene. Still following the RPM. New season and he has to tune in again. The question is, who are you supporting this season? You know, we know your favorite driver, C Osmo, is not racing here. That's the battle for the lead is continuing on now. Osmo closing in. Matty overtaking Rusty. And the chaos has settled down a bit. Nixie winning the Premier title. Who knows? Who knows? Big strike penalty for track limits. As we are seeing probably a move for the lead in lap 7 or 8. Well, going into lap 8 then, as the hards are starting to get better and the medium starting to lose a bit of grip. Bob Spun takes the lead of the race. Now the DRS is for Rodo this time out. but don't be too trigger happy on the power, as you can easily lose out. But he's followed behind, and Bobson is now in the lead. Rich Beerchard, or Beerchard 3.4 behind. Then Kieran just behind that, Smith just behind that, still going on those softs. And then a bit of a train behind here. Well, gaps of 2 seconds. Matty fastest laps on those mediums, as Rusty's gone to hards. And I think Ivor did as well. No, he didn't remove any of his 10 seconds. I don't think he could. For track limits, of course. Which Arola trying to fight back now. There's a lot of DRS zones here, so if you can keep up in the corners, you might have a good chance of staying close and re-overtaking the leader, or in this case. Defending on this little straight already. Trying to break the slipstream. 3.5 turns. Rodo, watch out. Let's see. With DRS open now, not using any of the ERS. And he's taking a dirty line there, picking up some rubber. And he's ahead of Bob Spun again. And now Bob Spun will have the DRS for this part, I think. And let's see, does he have a good exit that will immediately fight back then? No, he seems a bit too far behind. Let's see behind. There's also Smith is going for a move on Kieran, I think. Up the inside. No, he's staying behind. Inorganic and Fall Killer are fighting, but they lost quite a lot of time there. But Inorganic is now up to P8. Will Fall Killer fight back? Nope. Oh, let's see. Switch to the front then. Bob Spun half a second behind now, but Beach is also closing in. Yeah, this will be playing the long game here, as he has a 100% of DRS. Rodo is already sliding, and I seem to have the commentators because every time I switch to drivers tonight, so hopefully please don't blame me if I do switch to POV, but I need to get a POV of the fight. This time it's the other way around, same gap, different positions. And a lap later, going on to lap 10 already of the race, we are 1/3 on the way of the race. And let's see, defending Rodo. Oh, Bobswan going on the inside and moving to the outside. And he will have DRS for the next part. Rodo defensive line, switch back. Oh, more speed, almost hitting the back there. As Smith is into the pit lane. But this is costing them a lot of time. Inorganic 5 seconds speeding in the pit lane. Oy, an easy mistake around here. But he is in from the mediums. And he's going to the hards. Oh, Bob Spun is off into the gravel. And it's a mistake from Bob Spun, and he's continuing. Did his wheel disconnect? He's into the wall. And I think we might have a disconnection of a wheel. At least I hope that is the case, and of course nothing else. But something happened. Now I don't know what happened. And this might have been a I think something disconnected, because he just kept going straight on. I don't know if his wheel disconnected. Oh, and he's disqualified from the session. Of course, parking. Luckily, it's only pre-season, but bit of a weird. I hope I can get an explanation soon on what happened, but it's a bit of a weird situation. As his car pulls off, and the Aston Martin is out. Then Fall Killer is losing a lot of positions. He's now dropping down and he's going into the pit lane. Lost to Jeweler as well. But now big gaps then between the leaders. Around 3 seconds and still Hank 8 seconds behind Leaky already. Jeweler up to P7. Gui in 8. Smith in P9 after boxing. Matty in P10. Full Killer trying to get rid of his penalty. Rusty moves up to P8. Then we got P11. Shark is in P12 and Inorganic in P13. Right behind them. Let's see. Ivor has also gone in again and he's down in P15 now. Big gaps on lap 11 of the race. We're nearing the pit window now. Some of the medium guys are starting to come in, and also some of the softs, of course. But I don't have any explanation yet on what happened to... Oh yeah, wheel disconnected for Bob Spun, unfortunately. Yeah, and that is yeah, he couldn't fix that in time then. A real shame. And that those things unfortunately happen, but luckily for him it's only pre-season and his pace showed that he's up there. As Inorganic is fighting Big Shark for P12 in this race. And he's not going for it. Let's have a look at the penalties. 13 already for Ivor. As Snelle Henk is in. Big Shark using all of his ERS. And I think Big Shark is going in on those soft tires. There he is. Jeweler up to P6. Now big gaps between Leaky and Kales in P5. Beach is keeping a gap of around 2.9 to 3 seconds. Kieran still in a podium position. But let's see where everyone will end up. We got some different strategies going on now. Smith is one of them, but he does have traffic. And Inorganic track limit warning as Smith moves up to P7, I think. If he, yeah. Or does Gui have a good exit? No, Gui is struggling on all the tires. Smith is tires only 2 laps old. But Smith surely has to go in again. So he's doing the 2-stop, but it's an aggressive way. But he needs to, make up a lot of time here. Of course, the guys ahead will go to the hards at some point, but he's losing time fighting midfield battle drivers. As he probably goes up to P6 now, using the overtake and the DRS, and Smith moves up to P6. Jeweler fights back, but he's on those hard tires and it's a bit of a struggle. Let's see, Gui is now right behind him. Gui, I don't think he has any DRS, no. Neither of those guys has DRS or uses it. Probably the weird glitch one day. Because clearly Jeweler was within a second of Smith crossing that line, or there's a weird glitch that they crossed them at the same time and doesn't give it to anyone, which I think is the case here. Yellow in sector 2, that's Matty's round. Oi, ahead of both Alfa Romeos, then it's teammate, and then he could rejoin in P12. Not the best of races from Matty as after his P3 qualifying. Yeah, unfortunate from Matty. Yeah, only one, well, sort of DNF, but that was because the wheel disconnected. So so far, still going quite well, and for that many drivers as well. If you look at Vegas, we only had 9, and I think we ended up with 5. So it's just a lot as someone is going in, and I think it's Chaos. Smith now up to P5. Smith 14 seconds behind his teammate, and the thing is, both of them still need to make one stop, so he needs to catch up 14 seconds at least to get in near P4. Now I think he surely has the pace, but the question is it enough? Chaos now in P11 currently, but I think he will drop into P12 behind Matty. Matty still needs to go in though. Full killer. P13. If this was not a practice or a pre-season round, he would have been outside of the point. Same for Big Strack and for Ivor there. Yeah, the thing is, if Smith surely can't take them to the end, I think, because then he would have done, what is it, like 19-20 laps on those tires. It's quite a lot. I don't know how long the mediums can go actually, but I don't think that long. Kui moves up to P6, but Smith just needs to gain as quick as he can, and he's currently doing that. 12.4. Rodo is in from the lead on those mediums. The Beige stays out. Kieran is going in. Will he take a speeding penalty? Nope. Kieran racing his dad this time. That's a fun dynamic to see. Leaky continues on, of course, on those hard tires, but here is Smith, and let's see where he will end up compared to Rodo. Rodo is on those hard tires, of course, but let's see. Here is Smith on board, and there is Rodo. He's just ahead of Rodo, but basically a pit stop behind, so he needs to quickly move away. Kieran then has Jeweler in between him, but then Gui is in, and Inorganic is trying to overtake his teammate. He does have a penalty, but he's lifting a lot there, trying to get DRS on this part. Or does he have a problem? He's going back to first. Oh, Snelle. Oh, he was fighting Snelle Henk. I didn't see that. Don't know what's that. Oh, contact, Inorganic into the wall. And we've seen that before. Luckily, no. Oh, virtual saved. Oh, this is very interesting, and this is great for Beertje, as Beertje can now go in, and also for Smith to just take another set of mediums from here, and he's not losing out too many. He's gaining a lot on the rest of him. Same for Leaky, and if the virtual safety car stays that long, but then inorganic collision, unfortunately, with the Red Bull Snelle Henk, and with the Red Bull Snelle Henk. It looked nasty though. It looks like he somehow survived it. And when I in Singapore went into the wall with 50 kilometers per hour, my wheel went off. So I don't know. But yeah, virtual safety car. Beertje is going in. Oh, drive-through penalty for a lot of people actually. And Beertje might have won a little bit of time with it, but let's see. So Rusty has a drive-through, Chaos has a drive-through, Big Shrek and Ivor. 4 people with a drive-through. As Leaky moves up into P1, then Smith now in P2, but here's Beertje. And he was 3 seconds around that behind Rodo in the beginning, and he's still around 3 seconds behind. But he's gained like half a second, I think. But Smith is closing in. Oh, Rusty retired from the session actually. I don't know why he did that. I think he couldn't be bothered, or I don't know. And of course, you're not gonna going in to change his wing. This is the first time he's in. Break Strike doing his drive-through. But yeah, Rodo is behind Smith, and Smith needs to make another pit stop. So if Smith can't get away, he needs to catch up 1 pit stop in about 10 laps. I think this pit lane is quite long. So yeah, let's see. There's Beertje though, 3.6 behind now. And the roller needs to get quick by as soon as possible. Ivor's into the pit to fix his drive-through. Yeah, we still need Chaos in his penalty, as Rodo is now getting past to take back P2 from Smith, as someone is leaving the pit lane there. That is Ivor. He's going right, moving out of the way, but Smith now And Jeweler is into the pit as yellow flag is Ivor there going out of the way. It's, Rado went offline, and Smith, he can't really fight back there. Beertje P4, Kieran P5, someone else is dropping down, and that is Chaos, of course, doing that drive-through penalty, which will drop him a lot. Jeweler's gone in, and he ends up in P9 now with fresh tires as well. Maybe he can catch up to the guys ahead of him. And Matt probably needs to go in as well, looking at a strong position in the top 10. But yeah, they're closing in rapidly on Leaky. And will Leaky go to the... Leaky going to the soft stand. Let's see, Smith still has DRS, but he's outside of that DRS. He's back in and speeding in the pit lane for Ivor. And his evening is not going too well. And as I say that, he retires from the race. So the retirements are now starting to get in, unfortunately. And he left the session. As we're only left with 13 drivers there. And now Smith outside of that DRS. And now Beers is slowly closing in. But I need to see what Leaky will do and what Smith will do. Lap 18 of this race then. Big caps now, only 4 killer. Quite close behind Gooey here. Well, he was close, it's now 1.4 and he makes the mistake of going on the skating ring. Skating curve. Yeah, strong podium chances for Kieran. He, with both Mercedes still probably making another pit stop. But can he hold on though? Because he is about, what is it? 14 seconds behind Leaky, and Leaky could possibly go to like way better tires, and so the battle will probably be between Kieran and Leaky for that final position on the podium. But if so, Kieran is in a strong position. Rodo as well though. Rodo's in the lead, and he wasn't, well, he had a bit of unlucky races, and I think he missed some races last season. Same for me, but when he was there he was quick, got a win, final of the season, just finished second. So yeah, he is getting closer and closer to the strong podium, and then like to see, of course I'm a bit biased now because I drive for Alpine, but yeah, he's doing well, and I like to see that. I raced against him a couple of times. I've been commentating on him when he almost won the championship in the Alpine as well, but then I think he lost it in like the final 2 rounds or something, to Yeast or someone else. But yeah, now Beertje right behind Smith. I think Smith, his tires are down, or at least compared to the fresher hards. Beertje lifting a lot there. As Leaky is in, one of the Mercedes guys is in, and the other gets overtaken, and Beertje basically moves up 2 positions now as Leaky goes to the soft, and that will be interesting. And how much will he be behind? How much time has he lost compared to Kieran? And how much does he need to catch up? Smith, 3-second time penalty. Ooh, track limits. Aye, Smith, that's not helpful. And I was saying EA sucks outside the track, allow fastest driver to pass, 10-second penalty. Yeah, that I saw that on stream, and it was a bit of a weird situation as Matty comes in. I don't know. Yeah, the game sometimes is a bit weird. And yeah, that all the VSC, I made a mistake with that as well. Coming out of the pits, all of a sudden it says you're a deficit of like a second, and then making it to brake. And if the timing is a bit wrong, then well, you're done for. But yeah, as you said, it's very tight in the championship. And of course, this could still be track dependent, and let's see how this will be for the season opener next week. But yeah, currently everything is going well. Rodo now 3.2 ahead of Beertje. Then Smith. Leaky is 10 seconds behind Kieran. He has 10 laps. A second a lap is what he needs, but his tires of course will start to go off, so can he do it? As Smith goes in, and Smith will be just behind that. He will probably drop down to P. So 5-second time penalty for Smith. And will they wait? No, he can't fix it just yet. Unfortunate for him. Which means he will get 8 seconds worth of penalties. A bit frustrated there, as I would have loved to see his strategy work out, but probably this shows you the two-step isn't really working around there. He drops down to P6, probably on track though. He would have taken the top 5, but yeah, we will see. Let's see, big gaps now starting to form. Julia driving strong in P8, following Gui was in P7, 4Killer in P9, Kales in P10, Matty P11. He will probably take that P10 spot away. As Shark and Inorganic are fighting, and Inorganic going in again. I don't know why. It's not been the best of races for Alfa Romeo. He's going into the softs. I think the 4-stop strategy is not working for him. Oh, and now he's... Oh, there was a bit of a delay then. 2.9, Beertje closing in on Rodo. Kieran is 7 seconds behind that. Leaky closing in, he's 8 seconds behind Kieran. Then 7 seconds behind that. Snelle Henk in P5 for the Red Bull. 2.3 behind him is Smith, but Smith does have that penalty. 8 seconds worth of penalties, I think, if I'm correct. Let's see. As Leaky sets the fastest lap, 8 seconds worth of penalties indeed, and he has 9.2 to Gui, who's in P7. So it will probably be a top 6 finish for Smith either way, and that would mean that currently Mercedes would probably take more points in as a constructor. But yeah, this is not a race for the points, so I think so, right? Pre-season doesn't have any points. At least that. Otherwise, there's no reason to do a pre-season. Matty moves up to P10. Chaos drops down to P11. 2.5 now. Beertje is closing in. ERS wise, they're quite equal. Kieran still has a lot to defend. Leaky still has a lot to use. We now got Smith fighting for P5 on the track. And he has a lot of ERS, Smith. He can use a lot of it, taking the better line. Sang going a bit wide and landing through there. Still Smith needs to create a gap of 8 seconds, but it's still possible. Because Snellenk is also on some over tires, but yeah, he's looking good for P5 then Smith, which is quite a good result then at the end. .4. Lap 23 of 29. And it's 6.3. Leaky to Kieran. Can Kieran hold on? Oh, Snellenk is holding on to Smith there. Again, DRS here. Matty fastest lap, as you can see. Matty overtook, I think, Chaos this lap, and he gained 3.5 seconds on him. So, if Leaky does the same on Kieran might be in a lot of trouble. I think Beertje is safe to Leaky. But this Roto safe to Beertje. 2.2, you can see him now. Oh, it's 2 seconds. And Roto has no ERS to defend. Which is the same situation in Vegas last time out. The final race of the championship in season 7. It's already 2 weeks ago. Man, time flies. Matty now. Fast full killer for P9. And still getting some decent points. As Volker almost lost it there. I don't know what he did there. Going a bit too wide on those older hard tires. The gap is 2 seconds at the front. Leaky 4.5 behind. Smith is quicker than his teammate. He just has that 8-second time penalty. He's also on 1 lap fresh tires. But Snellenk is already 5 seconds almost behind Smith then. Well, he is now. And Smith almost has that gap. Gui 12 seconds behind him. So Smith is now 17 seconds ahead of Gui. After 2 laps ago that was 9. Which just shows you how quick the softs are. Yeah, they're rapid. And oh, okay, also unfortunately 3-second time penalty. Down in P11. Kept now up to 2.2 again. At 3.1. Leaky to Kieran 10. Let's have a look at their lap times. Once they cross the line. What is Roto doing? Roto is doing 34.7. Beertje is doing 34.8. A bit slower. Let's see. Kieran is doing 35.0 and Leaky 33.2. So 1.8 seconds quicker Leaky then. But 32.0. Then Smith again 1.2 seconds quicker than his teammate again on this lap. And then Henke is doing 35.3. Just shows you the difference in pace. But Kieran is not that much slower than the front two guys. It's just the guys behind are closing in rapidly. And Smith is getting about 3 seconds per lap on Snellenk, and he's almost outside of that. Well, Snellenk is almost outside of the 8 seconds that he needed to stay within to get that P5. Kieran is ERS 73%, Smith 65%, but he's using it now. Yeah, so basically equal. And then Leaky has a tire advantage, but will that hold on to the end? That's the question. As Beertje is also in the 1.8 now. Roto struggling in that little right-hander here. It is a difficult corner, but 1.1 for Leaky. And will Leaky spoil Kieran's party here in the beginning of the season? 1.7, 34.5 I saw Beertje. His lap time there. Let's see, Kieran is doing 35.2 and Leaky is 33.2, so 2 seconds quicker. Let's see what Smith is doing. Smith is almost is slower than his team, but this time Leaky off track onto the dirty part of the track there, losing a lot of time. But he's within the DRS now. He also has some ERS to attack. And defend in Kieran's case. 1.4 Beertje to Roto. And ERS wise they're quite equal, but I'm keeping an eye on this one just for a short minute then. And Leaky very patient, but Leaky a very strong race. In Alpine he was always strong, but not on the podium that often. I think he won once or twice. I've seen him last season. And now he's fighting in the Mercedes New Spirit, beating Smith, which is a great driver. To be fair, Smith is, I think Smith finished 4th in the championship last season, or 3rd, I don't know. I think 4th because he had to miss the last one. But let's have a look. 1.2 at the lead, 1/10 Leaky behind Kieran. Kieran has a lot of ERS to defend, but can he defend if they're both using a lot? Now DRS, better traction, and there he goes. Leaky up to P3 with 3 laps to go. Kieran trying to hold on. He now has that DRS, but his lap, he's on 12th lap, all hard tires. Don't push it too hard, Kieran, watch out. Now DRS, ERS using it. Will he go? No, he can't go up the inside there, it's a bit too far behind there. Smith has that gap now to Sneller. But Leaky needs to create a gap as big as possible in those final 2 laps, because if the tires do start to drop off, Kieran will be right behind him. As Kieran is still on the DRS, but quickly focus to the guys at the front. Both use all of the ERS. It's 1.2. Rodo and Rose Beertje. Or Beertje, it's called RPM Beertje. Kieran almost outside, he's outside of the DRS now. But let's see lap times. What is the drop off on those hard tires? It's a 34.7, 34.6 basically. So only a 10th in between them, but Beertje's just outside of the DRS, but only 2 laps to go. Can he hold on? Let's have a look at, as we see some battle between McLaren and the Alpine. Well, the Alpine will probably drop back on penalties, but he will go up the inside here and move up on McLaren. Smetty probably will take Jeweler. Let's focus quickly to the front then. Kieran now 1.3 behind 1.5, but Beertje crucially within that DRS. Is he within the DRS at the detection point? He is, and now he has DRS for this little straight. And will we see a final lap attack? Both really can't really use the ERS to defend, it's just basically DRS now. But he needs to be closer than 9/10 to do that. It's now 8/10 going into almost into the final lap. It's closing down, and now Rodo's back corner is coming up, and Beertje can see him. There it is, 6/10 coming up to the final corner, going on to the final lap. And has Beertje played this beautifully then, as Matty moves up ahead of Julia. It's 6/10 going into the final lap of the race. No ERS left, but there is DRS, and he's closing in, he's closing in, he's closing in. It's 4/10 to 3/10, braking late, but he has the DRS for this next part as well. 2/10, 3/10. Oh, almost a collision there. But now going up the hill here, DRS again, using the ERS. Both are using the ERS probably. Yeah, no percentage left here, and Beertje knows that from Roda as well. As you can see, the red flashing light. It's 3/10 going into sector 2. And they are pushing, but Kieran is also closing in on Leaky now. It's 1.4, but this is the battle we want to see. Oh, almost hitting the back there. Because a bit of line, struggling with the traction. That might help Rodo. But it's 5/10. Beertje, don't make any mistakes. Going into the final corner. In that little turn 10, I think it is. Half a second, the gap. Same as in Vegas, but this time Rodo is on the other side of the podium, you could say. He's in the other position. He's in Kieran's shoes. It's 4/10. Final sector then. Difficult traction. Beertje risking it all. Using the ERS, they're both using it. It's 3 times. Is it enough? I don't think it is. Bad exit maybe. Wow, I rode the whole time. And the Alpine will take pre-season win just ahead of Beertje there. One more lap and Beertje might have taken it. But then Leaky in the Mercedes, his new team, finishes in P3, seeing his old teammate win. Kieran just behind in P4, unfortunately for him. And I think Smith will take this P5, or even if with his penalties. Well done by Smith. And then we will have a look on the cars coming behind us. There's big gaps. Snelle Henk will finish in P6, and that is a good result for him. 18 laps on those mediums as well. Then Gui on those hards finishes P7. And we got Matty finishing in P8. Jeweler is in P9. Good result from Jeweler, just behind Matty there. Matty a bit unfortunate of a race. But great job by Jeweler. Chaos is in Fall Killer is in P10, Chaos P11. We got the big Shrek finishing in P12. He would have taken the final point if this was 4 points. And then the Alfa Romeo of Inorganic. As he described it, back where he belongs or something like that. Yeah, oh no, Inorganic is back. Not where he belongs. But yeah, Kieran will say welcome to the championship, mate, and let's see how you will do here. As Kieran finishes in P4 and Inorganic finishes in P13. But there he is, the Alpine this time. Not a Williams or an AlphaTauri, or almost an AlphaTauri, but it is an Alpine. And he has a great celebration, that is. And there is the champagne. To start this new season and in this new sort of era for RPM. And then here we have the final results. Fastest lap goes to Matty, as we said, Leaky Peeth, and then the DNFs. Bob Spahn, unfortunately, I would have loved to see what he could have done there if his wheel didn't disconnect, and then Rusty and Ivor leaving, of course, after what happened. I think he still got the results though, Rusty. But yeah, those are the final results then. And yeah, let's see some final results. A good race to watch. It was a good race. It was a very exciting race. The end was also very exciting. And no problem on the comms. I enjoy it. And Kieran saying I tried to fight Leaky, but there's nothing I could have done. Yeah, no. Those softs were way too quick to fight, basically. But yeah. So tomorrow then, of course, we will have pre-season for the Premier Division, where I'm in, of course, new team. Try to see if the Alpine is working, but if I look at Rodo's car, it's doing well. Well, probably Rodo will be calling and I will be somewhere near the back. So yeah. Thank you all though for joining me tonight on this opening, and hopefully you will all be watching us tomorrow on the Wednesday this time. First time in the history of RPM that we are on the Wednesday for the highest division, the high division or the Premier Division, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, apart from that, we will be back in Qatar again next week, and that will be fun. I enjoy Qatar. It was a very good race. I got the podium there last season, so let's see how that one will go for the championship for the first round of this season. But yeah, for now, thank you all for joining me, and I will see you all next week. Bye bye.